a teenager training at the Nick Bollettieri Academy. Haas opens it up. His biggest problem through the years, Haas, has been staying healthy. He's just had a list of injuries throughout his career that are such punishment to his high hopes and considerable talent.
The other problem for Haas has been trying to get out of that shadow of Boris Becker, the great German champion who won 6 majors. And Tommy's never gotten past the semis. He's been 2 quarters here, 3 semis at Australia. And I think that's part of why he went to Florida at a young age.
That's a good point. His country, the Germans, expecting it to be easy when they had Becker and Groff at the same time dominating the sport. And expected the player that would fill Becker's shoes would continue at the highest level. And that pressure on Haas throughout his career.
His tendency is to move back when things get tough. You know, he gets stuck too far behind the baseline. There's been many people that have tried to get him to move forward, to take some more chances, to get into the net more often. He's got tremendous ground strokes, one of the best backhands you'll ever see. He's solid on that forehand, very fit. See him clip the line there. The freakiest injury was last year at Wimbledon when he
stepped on a ball.
Well, he was actually just warming up, you know, hitting a few serves, and a ball came from behind the court and hit off the fence, and the ball boy didn't get it, which was a freak and unfortunate accident for him.
Tommy, coming into this tournament, you had some shoulder trouble. You just played a tough 5-set match against Grosjean. How are you doing physically?
Actually pretty good. Really happy about it. Yeah, the beginning of the tournament, wasn't quite sure how the shoulder was going to hold up, but now I'm feeling pretty good.
How much did you have to scramble after the retirement and the match before you?
Yeah, it kind of looked like it a little bit in the first set already. You know, Berdych was crying a little bit and ended up retiring beginning of the second set, but they give us, you know, enough time to make sure tape the ankles and make sure we get ready.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Of course, was Mary Jo Fernandez talking with Haas before he took court for the warm-up. Now it's Blake. His first point at the net.
I like what he said. Berdych is crying a little bit. You know, he didn't sound all that convinced of that either. He's been around a long time. Haas, he's seen it all.
One of Tommy Haas's problems has been containing his own emotions. He can get very aggravated and lose his way, even when he's leading in a match. You can see him sometimes on so many changeovers. We've seen Haas just berating himself and yelling at what's going on, and more often than not, it harms him more than it helps him. And he really is. He's a very nice fellow, and been around so long. You kind of cheer for him to have a nice looking breakthrough. Apart from his physical injuries, shoulder, ankle, everything else. His parents were involved in a near-death motorcycle accident a couple of years ago, and that really took a lot out of him too.
Thomas Hogstead is the latest coach. He's lasted almost 2 years, which is a good effort for Tommy.
Easy hold for Blake, 1-all.
But late in his career, he's going to have to figure out a way to even get more motivated. He's had a solid year. 10 in the world right now.
There's the J block. Small core of fans that follow Blake and push him with their cheers, as they have several years here at the Open. Now easily delivered that winning forehand.
It was a good point you made a couple minutes ago, Dick, that Haas is by far his most comfortable on this surface, as is Blake. He should make this a highly competitive round of 16.
Both have had to go 5 sets to advance into this round of 16.
Haas came in with the shoulder problem, so there's an issue there. That's what caused him to miss so much time. He had a couple surgeries a few years back. It's made life tricky, but he was able to pull out that 5-setter against Grosjean the previous round.
He's one of the reasons Germany has advanced to the last 4 in Davis Cup competition. They play in Moscow against the Russians later this month. The American Davis Cuppers are in Sweden. Second ace for Haas. Blake now at 27. Of course, he's gone through his own turmoil physically and emotionally 3 years ago. Lost his father, broke his neck in an accident in Rome. Caught the line.
Blake has got more foot speed out there. He's got to have to use that to his advantage. It'll be interesting to see how he does if this gets late into the match, because he's, Mary pointed out, but a lot of tennis the last couple weeks in particular, and he's had some tough matches here.
That New Haven tournament the week preceding the Open. And of course, he had to play all the way through to the finals.
Well, most top players don't play, except Davydenko, who plays every week. And they wanted Blake, the local guy, needed him.
Plenty of appeal in his game, going high.
One of the reasons why Blake is going to get into the net more than Tommy is because he plays tighter into the court. And that allows him to come up to the net when he wants and to hit athletic shots like that. Tommy Haas plays from further back. He kind of positions himself like a clay quarter, even though he's at his best on a hard. And that keeps him from coming to net as much as he could.
And the hold, it's 2-1 on serve. Opening set. The winner to advance to the U.S. Open quarterfinals. Both men off to a good start on serve. Now it's Blake on the line. Labor Day, and this is where it all began this holiday in New York City. Hope you've enjoyed your holiday Monday, and please you've joined us here for the action from the National Tennis Center, the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center.
Blake has won 3 of the 4 matches, but Haas has won the most recent one late last year indoors in Paris. I'd be surprised if this match is not close.
Yeah, this has 4 or 5 sets written on it, don't you think? Just based on performance.
Well, I think it does, unless Haas's shoulder is bothering him and/or he gets too negative out there. If things start going against him. But I think at this advanced age, tennis years, 29, I think Haas knows his chances of days are numbered. He's going to dig deep, I believe.
So the wind continues. You see it rippling Blake's shirt as he serves.
Remember a couple of years ago, Tommy Haas was the first to wear the sleeveless shirt, and it caused a lot of commotion around here. Weren't even sure they were going to allow it for a while.
They didn't allow it. Why didn't I get that chance?
And the first double falls to 30 all.
Thomas Hogg said his coach is going to bear the brunt of some of that. Why did you have that racket strung like that?
Well, also in the Haas house is Nick Bollettieri, and Nick is the guy, there's his coach the last several years. Nick Bollettieri is one who recognized that Haas was very talented at a young age. I mean, Haas has spent every bit of his formative years in Florida, training there at the Voluntary Tennis Academy.
Ever since age 11. And there's the hold for James Blake to 2-all. We'd like to remind you tonight, President Bush has made a surprise trip to visit our troops in Iraq, and Katie Couric is there, talks to him on the CBS Evening News. That's tonight. Both men cruising along. No pressure points on their serve.
And Tommy Haas got deep into this tournament some years back and then had to play Pete Sampras. He was playing so well. And then he just got very anxious and made a lot of errors against Pete. And I'll never forget that Pam Schreiber went to interview Nick Bollettieri in the middle of that match when it was all going way too quickly against Haas. And Pammy said to Nick, you know, what's going on out there? And Bollettieri, as only Nick can, explained it, what Haas's problems were.
So the problem, Pam, dear, is that Tommy has lost his prospectus.
He really said that?
Tommy Haas was the #2 seed and #2 player in the world at that time. Pete Sampras ended up winning that event. He beat Haas. There's Nick Bollettieri, 70. I think he's 75 or 6 now. Still in likes to get out there.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's brought his prospectus on the court with him today.
What you needed in binoculars to see Haas. He was so far back against Sampras. Roddick did the same thing in the quarters. He taught these youngsters a lesson en route to his final Grand Slam. Blake hits the ball so big that I think in a way it plays into Haas's hands because he's not going to have to make that decision or move forward where he's less comfortable. He's going to be counterpunching, which is the way he prefers it.
And a log hold. He's allowed only 3 points in his 3 service games. Back in Flushing Meadows at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in the main show court, Arthur Ashe Stadium court. James Blake, Tommy Haas, 2-3. No service break points as yet. Blake, who finished second in the U.S. Open Series preceding this championship, so if he should go all the way and win the title, $1.4 million goes with it. He would also pick up a $500,000 bonus, so there's a $1.9 million carrot out there ahead of Blake should he win his first major.
Haas missed 6 weeks after Rome. He had to retire against Stepanek there with the shoulder problem. Came back at Wimbledon, got to the round of 16 where he was scheduled to play Federer, withdrew there with his stomach tear. It's part of the litany of injuries he's had in less than 30 years on this earth.
Yeah, it started in '95 as just a teenage kid, broke his right ankle and made up for that the following year and broke his left ankle. It's been trouble from the start physically. Well done by Blake. 3-all.
To me is the key for Blake to use that incredible quickness he possesses to cut these balls off, make life easier for himself. He did a nice job there. Feathery touch. Open up that racket head like that. The ball's going to not go as deep. That's where the drop volley comes from. waiting and waiting for Blake to make a move. He wouldn't do it. She said, okay, I'll hit a good, firm forehand deep, make him hit a tough pass.
How nice is it to be so quick as Blake is that you can, you don't have to commit early. He looks very sharp today.
Understandably very special for Blake, born in Yonkers, to be playing here in New York, but also on Arthur Ashe Stadium court. Arthur visited the Harlem Tennis Club and spoke to the young kids, and Blake was one of them. He's been inspired by Ashe, as so many have, and now courts are named after James Blake in Fairfield, Connecticut.
Uses his height well to find this angle. It's key for him to make a lot of first serves. Blake has a tendency to try to overhit on the turn. Another ace.
122, his fifth.
Serving well, which is going to be big for him.
Mention his height. You don't think of Haas as being a tall guy, but he's 6'2". Blake at 6'1". Both men dominating on their service games. We've coasted to 4-3 on serve in the opening set. As we look across the East River at the skyline of Manhattan, it's the unofficial final day of summer, Labor Day. These two men back to work at 3-4. James Blake opening set, and Tommy Haas.
The wind is really kicked up. Tricky time for Blake with new balls. Against the wind, opportunity for Haas perhaps to get the lead.
Did you like playing into the wind?
Well, as you know, I was such a big hitter.
Right.
No, that actually, a little wind behind me helped get a little stick on the ball. Made life rather miserable when I was against the wind.
Yeah, but with all your great hands and the angles and spins.
Try to get in, use net play if I could, but these guys are so big and strong. They hit the ball harder than ever. So they've got to pull back, use a little more topspin to bring the ball in the court. Take a little bit shorter swing if you're with the wind. Blake has been told by his coach, Brian Barker, to hit out, that's the way he's going to get deep into a major. He's never been past the quarters. The tendency, I think, is sometimes to overdo it like he did there.
Good coverage, huh?
Because Haas has got as beautiful backhand as you're going to see out in the tour. And he hit a nice and low passing shot, and that was tougher than it looked. And here's the old chip in charge. This is there. It's a good shot. Excellent volley. Kept the racket in front of him. Didn't take a swing. Just used Haas's pace. There's that backhand again. If I were Blake, I'd be going more towards Tommy Haas's forehand.
First time either player is on return has been at 30 all. Closest thing to an opening for either man. He just did hit the baseline.
Yes,
and Haas gets a look.
If you're going to challenge a call like this, you got to stop playing. The ball appeared to skid off the back of the line. That's why Haas took a stab at it. Blake looks very sharp at net so far.
they've advanced to 4-all. You can visit usopen.org. It's the only place online where you can get real-time scores and statistics. IBM helps make usopen.org special. Well, we've moved deep into this opening set at 4-all. Not a break point. And it's Haas' turn on the line. It's his 11th trip to New York for the U.S. Open. Quarterfinalist in 2004 and last year, as was James Blake a year ago. Number 6 for Haas. In Tommy Haas' camp, his lady friend, Sarah Foster.
David Foster, the great record producer, her father. Acting a bit. She's a very emotional sort. She's give and take with Tommy. Don't yell at her. Exceptionally sharp at that half volley and feel around the net. And that bodes very well for James Blake. Again, this is an excellent defense from Haas. Nice and low. Look at Blake. That knee bend gets down so low. Look at this.
Shovels it over. 15-30. First possible opening for either man.
Perfectly timed. Look, Blake has been much more forward in this match so far than Haas. Haas knew he was coming in, and that's one of the beauties of a one-handed backhand, that you can hit a shot like that. Blake knew he was beat as soon as he saw that thing hoisted over him.
That is so good, though, from Haas. That was 15-30 4-all. Important point for him.
That's a great return from Blake.
Well, we're seeing some shot making. And here's the first break point of the opening set. And for Blake, what a chance. Convert and then serve for the set.
Set up by this awesome return there. Haas hits a serve that he thought may win him the point. Instead, he's scrambling just to get the ball back. Some good speed on that slice back, and it stayed very low. Impossible for Haas to handle. Break point here. First one for either player.
Does convert. He leads 5-4. Now fans outside enjoying this beautiful Monday afternoon, watching the big screen television and cheering James Blake, the American number 6 seed, who now serves for the opening set against Tommy Haas. Guillermo Vilas won this championship 30 years ago.
Last year it was at Forest Hills.
On clay.
On clay. Still waiting to shake Connors' hand. He kind of...
Blake now 3 points from the set.
Connors thought he got a bum call in match point. Never shook Guillermo's hand. He wants that chase review.
Came back and won the 1978 U.S. Open, Jimmy, right here. First year it was played here on hard.
Good slice ace, and it's his first. Takes him to 2 points from the set.
Seems a little fresher out there, Blake does, in Haas in his first set. He's used that speed to good effect.
Well, that's a tough shot as deep as Haas is playing.
That's where he likes to play. It's tough to get him to push him in closer to the baseline. His tendency when things get tight is to move back. Blake should be able to create more angles as this match goes on. Hey there, hitting that return to serve from that far back, it's a tough proposition.
There's Brian Barker, the coach of Blake since he was 12 years of age, along with brother Thomas, and they cheer a couple of set points. And James Blake does have the opening set lead. 6-4. Back in New York for the second set, and James Blake, despite his first serve percentage, only 42%.
Yeah.
Throw out the stats.
Well, he's coming into this match. He was only serving in the low 50s, but didn't hurt him in that last set. He won 8 of the last 10 points. He's set a very high bar, a very high standard for this match.
He's able to attack the Haas second serve more and hurt him, whereas Haas has that tendency to get defensive. And that was the difference. That one service break, we needed that one chance, and it's a quick 6-4 set for him.
And at the level both men are playing, it would appear every one of those break points are going to be precious. It won't take much.
It doesn't take long for Haas to get discouraged, or upset with himself. And his tendency is to, go up to net. If he gets past or loses a point, to revert back to getting defensive. And he didn't really want to come into that last ball, hit that approach shot long. So that's going to make him think I shouldn't be coming in at all.
Love 30.
He needs to keep Blake off balance. Let him get into a groove, or this could be a short match.
Oh, double fault and 3 breakers for Blake to open the second set.
He played an absolutely awesome topspin lob at Haas at the last service game that took him to 30 all, and since then he's just lost it completely.
One save.
15. Started missing a lot more first serves. And that's allowing Blake to swing away. He got one there to save the break point. One of them.
And
2, 1 to go.
Indecisive Blake on that return.
Well, here he's just trying to block it into play. Part of what people have been saying is you need to have a plan B, is know when to pull back a little bit. As he tried to do there as well. And credit for Haas for getting some first serves in. Blake knows he should have done better these last couple of points.
Well, Haas out of love 40. And a 4th break point.
Clear that he moves better than Haas. And he's able to get himself in a position more quickly to hurt Tommy, as he does there. This would be big for Blake to get an early break. Haas hasn't been in this center court. And this is
His
quite
mom.
a huge stage. It takes even a veteran a while to get comfortable. He doesn't look very much like he's found his game or groove quite yet.
So mom Betty, who came to America at age 17 and met Thomas Blake. They met on the tennis court. Good hitting from Haas's end. Trying to dig his way out of this rough service game. 4 break points faced.
He'd like to exchange backhands with Blake. That's where he would have a decided edge. He needs to get off here early. Haas. He looks a little sluggish and weary. The legs are heavy for Haas. And look where he is. So again, Blake moves in and uses this drop volley. He's hurt Haas 4 or 5 times already. Only been out in the court 40 minutes. He senses Haas has been a little sluggish, but this is as good as I've seen Blake up at net.
And here's the 5th break point.
Blake's played every match in here, whereas Haas hasn't. It looks like there's a clear comfort level for James. He's taken advantage.
And there it is. Blake up a set, up a break. And now the pursuit of perfection presented by Lexus and John McEnroe. How well you can appreciate play at the net.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Blake has got a big forehand and has improved his backhand, but it's what he's done at net with that feel and touch and the quickness he exhibited that last point as well. And the good technique with the knee bend that's helped him get. How nice does that feel? It looks like Sampras of old. He's really shown that if he can combine that with what he's able to do at the baseline consistently, he will be a force in this event.
14 of 17 points made at the net.
He has never gotten past the quarters. Twice here he's been that in a Grand Slam, and he's got his best chance he's ever had this year. It's another ace.
And the winner of this will meet either the 4th seed Davydenko or young Tyke Lee. Andy Roddick won earlier against Berdych, who retired down a set and 2-love.
That's not Andre Agassi or Roger Federer. So things looking quite promising for James Blake right now.
And of course, Blake, who was 0 for 9 in 5 setters finally, and he just physically brushed his right shoulder the other night when he finally won the 5-setter after 0 for 9 as he beat Fabrice Santoro.
He's just feeling it. Every bit of James Blake is looking good today. He's about to win his 5th game in a row. Just everything working for this guy.
His 4th ace.
Well, he's feeling it, man, and he's also sensed that Haas is feeling the effects of that last match where he played great for a couple sets, got up 2 sets on Sebastian Grosjean. It went away for him, and that effort that it took to finally pull it out in 5, it looks like he's just not gotten into that gear he needs to make this competitive. It's not moving well enough.
And Blake is rushing him from everywhere, isn't he? Serving big, returning big. I like how Blake has been coming up to the net, and he's already won quite a few just by feeling the ball over the net, knowing how far back Haas is, how positionally incorrect that is. So, but, I mean, Blake is wanting this guy, Haas, to run even more than Haas feels like anyway.
It just shows you what a weapon speed can be. And it's gotten inside Haas's head here, who's already down a set and a break.
Success at the net again for James Blake.
And when you take those long steps, that's another sign of weariness, where Haas just tried a half-hearted attempt at a passing shot there. Blake has just got the A game working at the moment.
There's Blake's first 3 matches, and the one against Santoro, he brushed that monkey off his back. Finally wins a 5-setter after 9 times down. Oh, how fast was that forehand return?
The serve was 110. That had to be 120. I mean, I've never seen a forehand hit that hard off the return. Unbelievable. One of the hardest easily.
And that's enough to make you think about what happened for Haas, and then he with the error.
Blake's moving so well, that forces him to go for more. He's trying to laugh off his pain right now, but the truth is it's getting away from him in a hurry here. Better get his act together quick. Kubek, was a 4-setter. He could have easily lost the first and third set there, Blake.
Didn't he play well, the veteran lefty from Austria?
Haas needs to hang on and hold here, stay down just 1 break, and hope that this steamroller lets up James Blake, that he gets tight.
And we have seen James get down on himself after owning an early lead.
There's tons of breaks against Kubek, that's for sure.
17 breaks of serve in a men's match.
He needed that.
Haas digs out a treble, but he's down a set and down a break, and will continue from New York after this word from your local station. Look in on Arthur Ashe Stadium Court, and a reminder for in-depth real-time match breakdowns, including 3D graphics of shot trajectory and ball placement. IBM Point Tracker is available on usopen.org. Inside Arthur Ashe Stadium Court, dedicated 10 years ago.
There's that free-flowing backhand of Tommy Haas, and I think he realizes that he better try to step up the energy level. At least this point, moving better than he's shown the last couple of minutes. 10, 15 minutes. It's really gotten him in a hole here at 6-4, 2-1 down. Well, that's going to make him upset. He normally does a lot better with a backhand passing shot there. Blake has really made a determined effort to get into the net. It's really paid off. He's rushed Haas. He seems so uncomfortable out on Arthur Ashe Stadium.
80% success, 16 for 20 points at the net for Blake.
As well as he's been vowing, you hope he doesn't try to overhit forehands like he did there. So just move in behind that. That's what he needed
That's
Haas.
the line, and that's for Tommy Haas, his first break point.
He's going to challenge it, but that was clearly in.
We'll see what our chase review displays. Oh, Tommy Haas, indeed, with 2 break points.
First chance to break here for Haas.
And there's the break back. It's 2-all in the second. Well, Monday, September 24th, they know quantum physics, but haven't a clue when it comes to women. The Big Bang Theory, a great new comedy from the creator of 2.5 Men. It'll premiere on Monday night, September 24th, right after How I Met Your Mother on CBS.
I think that's the type of game that showed why Blake hasn't been past the quarters in a slam. It's very loose.
He said, you know, John, when Blake describes his style, he says, I'm a shot maker. It's a hard way to win majors as a shot maker. And he certainly
Federer's a shot maker.
Yeah.
He's done pretty well.
I mean, if you're okay, so if you're a shot maker and you win 10 points, maybe a match playing that way, there's all that rest of that match you got to play, the meat of the match. It's a dangerous way to go. It really is. And if you're not on it, and you don't have too many other places to look around for alternate strategizing. And Blake is blessed with great gifts athletically and a fine work ethic. To be a shot maker, it's a tough way to do business day in, day out, round after round at a major. 3 out of 5 sets. I honestly think it's one of the reasons why he's struggled to win those long ones. A lot can go wrong if you're just counting on making your shots.
The irony is, if you look at this match as an example, that he had an alternate plan, which is to move into the net more, was highly successful doing it, and seems to switch up and revert back to just his power hitting, which has cost him now. Haas has taken advantage, to his credit.
And after breaking Blake, he holds it love, and now the momentum has shifted toward the German. Tommy Haas 3-2 in the second. Now it's James Blake trying to pull his game together. Remember, Blake with the early break here in the set led 2-love, and it was deuce on Haas's serve when Haas laughed off a bad play on his part. Well, he's won 11 of 12 points since, including that one.
There's a hop to his moment and to his movement, excuse me, and you could see the increased effort these last couple of games. Very well timed for Haas. He's been around a long time, and he's credited from knowing when to step it up before things really got out of control.
See the scores of the women earlier today, and we have the 18-year-old Hungarian Savai to play the champion here 3 years ago, Kuznetsova, in the quarterfinals.
Savai hasn't dropped a set. He's got all the way to New Haven final last week, which was what James Blake won over Marty Fish.
And how about Shahar Peer, the Israeli? She's through, and we meet either Pasha, the 16-year-old, or Shakadadze. They play tonight. Yeah, couldn't power that one over the net cord, and everything going poorly now for Blake.
Shot makers are able to keep their concentration better and not go through these ups and downs. That, to me, it's more of a mental thing. Early in his career, there is a physical thing. He wasn't in the condition he needed to be to win these type of long matches. Now it's become more mental. It's just a roller coaster when Blake plays.
There's 2 chances for Haas to break again. One erased. And he continues to prosper at the net. Back-to-back breaks at Blake's surface, and 4 straight games to Haas, and he has the lead 4-2. Well, looking ahead, championship weekend at the Open begins Friday, 12:30 Eastern. Women's semis, then Super Saturday. World's toughest tennis rocks from day into night with the men's semis, and in prime time, 8 o'clock, the women's championship. Sunday after football, the men's title. It's all right here on CBS next weekend. Well, what an about face this match has taken for James Blake. Up a set 6-4, leading 2-love, seemingly in control, and now it has swung to Haas's favor. 4-2 he serves.
That's nice.
It's well done.
You know, it isn't just a question of Blake going away. Haas upped his game. He added more energy to start that second set, and it's paying off now because now he's fully engaged. He's got his teeth into this match.
He saw how close Blake was to the net. I mean, he inches away. So he hits the topspin lob, and he's let this second set slip away.
Frustration pouring out of Blake.
Haas is taking the net again.
Yeah, that's a nice move from Haas. He can do anything with that backhand. It angles Blake off. Look at this. He's off the court, and he sneaks in, surprises James. It's a key move for him to keep Blake off balance. Nice run from Tommy Haas here. Worked his way through that lethargy, the heaviness that his legs were obviously experiences early in that match, and he's gotten into the flow here.
9 straight service points won by Haas. Goodness. Smothering his opponent at this stage. He leads 5-2. Down a set. Outside Arthur Ashe, an artist with a memory of New York and a large tennis ball. Actually, that's outside Louis Armstrong as we look in at the largest stadium in all of tennis, nearly 24,000 capacity, and James Blake trailing 2-5. He's lost the last 5 games and broken the last 2 times by Tommy Haas, who's a game away from leveling this match.
Son, Haas is looking a lot quicker out there, sturdier mentally, and it's Blake who's shaky, uncertain of what to do.
Won 19 of the last 22 points, Tommy Haas. Cincinnati on court 8.5 hours. New Haven almost the same, and that 8.5 hour mark for Blake. A lot of time on court. He didn't finish against Quebec till after 1 in the morning a couple of nights ago. Is that taking its toll? I was not convinced that hit the service line, but
well, his brother talked about that the other night, and clearly that's an issue. To play the week before the Open, you're risking something.
5 aces now for Blake.
That's out.
Got too casual up there at net. That's why he's yelling at himself. He saw Tommy start to move in, so he tried to hit the volley deeper. That's the one he should have made. The first one was okay. The second one was unforgivable at this stage. Just want to throw away the set on serve and let Haas start off the third set. Make him earn it. And look at Haas, what he's doing all of a sudden. You know, he's a guy who likes to play defense. He's gone to plan B, which is working a lot better than A.
A point away from 6 straight games to win this second set.
It's a great run for Haas. About to be a set. It's on the line.
Set point saved.
At the very least, he's got to dig in here, hold serve. There's only a breakdown. Make Haas serve this out. It's easier said than done. Just as Burdich earlier. He went from 5-3 up to defaulting 20 minutes later.
6 aces now for Blake. And a point for 5-3 to force Haas to serve out the set. And that's exactly what we'll have for you as Haas at 5-3 will try to square this match at a set all.
By the way, Thomas Burdich gave a press conference after that retirement to Andy Roddick, and he had no answers. Said he didn't wake up feeling poorly. He didn't even feel badly in practice this morning. Just he couldn't really describe what he was feeling that caused him to walk off this court a couple hours ago against Andy Roddick. But he's getting some blood tests done. Figure out why he's got no energy.
Roddick winning 7-6 and then 2-love when Burdich retired.
This is why you make a guy serve it out. You automatically tighten up. I mean, that's a given. You're going to feel some anxiety trying to finish off the set. You're thinking about that missed chances the previous game. He's got some wind behind him, which is helping his chances as well here. He's about to toss that racket in frustration. He's upset now.
5 points in a row for Blake. And a warning for Haas.
And verbal abuse.
He's complaining about the win. That's he went from such a great run to suddenly he's gotten a warning and can't figure out the win. It just shows you how quick things change out there.
Ardell, a ref in the chair. That verbal blast universal. We go warning, point game. Seen that a couple of times. Off speed serve from Haas and Blake caught out in front.
If it's spinning a lot, which that serve was, and it's windy, which it clearly is, you've got to keep your feet moving. Don't get stuck in there.
93 miles an hour that last serve.
That skids off the line, gets him back to 30 all. The ball's going to move in the air, and you've got to be able to make a quick adjustment.
A chance for Blake to break.
It just shows you how much easier it is for Blake to go after a return when it's a second serve. This is putting more pressure on himself if he's forced to do that too much. Frustrating conditions for these players. Hard to play your best tennis out there. He's gonna challenge it. Looked to skid off the line. It was obviously very close. Blake will challenge.
This is a critical chase review here. Did it hit the line? Blake didn't think so.
It looked like it skidded a bit, and you can see how close he was to breaking serve. Haas now back to deuce. He missed the easiest one.
And Haas is looking around as though it's the wind-aided error. But it gives Blake a chance to get right back on serve in this second set. What a comeback this would be.
The truth is he was winded and had run out of gas, and ball he had a chance to really go after. He got tentative on it. It cost him.
Tantalizing 26 hit rally and crowd pleasing as well. But here's Haas tries to smile it off as Blake has another chance to draw even on serve. Here's a second break point in this game. Blake with a break back. 5-4 in the second set. Haas had set point against Blake's serve, and now Blake breaks him to go 5-4. Boy, what a set, this tail end of set two. It's 5 straight games to Haas, and then a set point on Blake's serve. Couldn't convert. Blake holds on, breaks back, and now it's 4-5.
Tommy Haas cursing at himself, and his girlfriend has been watching this match using some colorful language too. What the blank is he doing?
Well, that's more pleasing for her. Yeah,
There we go.
She's definitely into
She's
this.
not always yelling encouragement.
Girlfriend Sarah Foster.
That's 2 good moves into net by Haas, who's often been accused. I've been one of those critics of him getting too defensive, too far back in the court. He's got good volleying skills. He's an excellent all-court player. If he gets the nerve to go up and do it, the belief. He's got these first 2 points. This is the side where it's easy to break serve. He's got a chance now again to level this at 1 set all.
Yeah, 2 points away, plus a second serve.
Make that triple set point. Hogstad's going to be tossed as coach. He's going to have his girlfriend who's coaching.
I think she's a bit overnamed. What's her last name?
Foster.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's always what she does out there.
Set point number 3 coming up as Blake saves at low 40. 2 more chances for the German.
If he loses this game, there's going to be a serious exchange between the 2 of them.
It'll match the color of the court. There it is. Haas 6-4 in the second. They match sets. They'll play best 2 of 3. Back at Arthur Ashe Stadium Court, they split 6-4 sets as the winner will advance to the quarterfinals against either Davydenko or Young Taek Lee. They play later. That match not to begin before 4 o'clock, and we're live here back in New York at 3:48 in the afternoon, and Haas serves to open the third set. With an ace. Among his many honors, a silver medalist in the 2000 Olympics at Sydney. Tommy Haas lost to Kafelnikov for the gold medal. Other scores go through.
Kuznetsova, who won this title a couple of years ago. Roddick as well, a former champion here. Agnes Savai on through as well. She's having a great couple of weeks.
There's that backhand of Haas.
And Shahar Pear, the top banana in the Big Apple today. The first time a Jewish player has ever gotten to the quarters here.
And Kuznetsova, 4th seed, certainly in a terrific half of the women's draw.
Israeli, I should say, because then I'd be skipping Dick Sabat, who won this title. Jay Berger. He's had good runs here as well. Haas is down.
Not out. You know, Settle is really playing well now, and he should not be discouraged because this is a fantastic shot from Blake. You know, you tip your hat. You say, yeah, I don't think you can keep doing that.
Becker used to do this even on hard courts, but Tommy Haas, with all of his injuries, should probably not do this too much.
Seemingly none the worse. 30-15. Pin that serve deep in the corner. Just this year, the injury list for Haas. Shoulder injury, 6 weeks. Torn stomach muscle at Wimbledon, 3 more weeks out. He's had shoulder surgery, 2 broken ankles.
He didn't play at all in 2003. I mean, 2002 U.S. Open, he was 2 in the world, so it's been a tough road. You credit him for still being this highly ranked at this late stage in his career, and he's playing well now. That's why he's 10 in the world the way he's going right now.
Interesting incident over at Louis Armstrong in doubles. John McEnroe. You know, a guy's got to make himself a buck when it's the opportunity rises. So you're the beer vendor and you're at a doubles match and you've got a customer.
Okay.
So what do? You got to serve your customer. Isn't that part of the whole MO? And here is Nicholas Mahmoud who's saying, hey fella, not now. I don't want a beer. And look at there he is, oblivious. He's got the
Robert Kendrick actually and Sam Querrey on the other side. This is
Julian Benito there is you start hitting balls at the golf. Maybe they want a couple.
Look at the usher here as he says,
it's a heavy load.
Get down there. Get
me out of here.
Anyway, Benito and Mahmoud are up a set and 4-3 out there against the Americans, Sam Querrey and Robert Kendrick.
And salesman said those players have no sense of humor. Oh, James Blake trying to find his way back here after a run by Haas, who won 6 of the last 7 games in that last set. Rally from the set down. And a breakdown. Quickly to 40 love. Ace number 8. And a love hold.
Well, that's a veteran shot there. Go for broke, not expend too much energy. As we look at the stats so far, both players have served reasonably well. As expected, very close. Blake is the guy that goes for bigger shots. And I'm not surprised to see a lot of breaks already. It's who's going to keep their nerve as much as anything else. See who reaches the quarterfinals here.
One set all, one game all. That's with the wind, so that'll carry along.
Haas is clearly moving better. I think he dug deeper mentally and able to shake off that weariness from his 5-setter the other day.
That was sweet.
They're both, maybe one of the reasons why they haven't won a major yet is because they both really feel like doing stuff like this. They both tend to be very swashbuckly, which is great when you're on. They both have big, daring strokes.
Into the wind. Just long.
Especially their backhands.
Blake possesses one of the biggest forehands in the men's game. Haas is, to me, his backhand is better. It served him well. He reached a high we've talked about. He was at one stage 2 in the world. James Blake has been as high as 4.
He ended last year 4 in the world, ahead of the other American, Andy Roddick, who's still in the conversation here at this year's Open.
Now Blake is 6 and Roddick 5. Third double and takes Blake to 30-all.
Roddick's been in 2 U.S. Open finals and won 1 and 2 Wimbledon finals. His credentials far superior to James. That was a bad miss there.
Blake with the break
He
point.
went off the plank there.
Did he have to do this? I mean, oh boy. But they both can do that, can't they? It's very crowd pleasing. I'm not sure how much it pleases themselves though when things go wrong.
Or their coaches or girlfriends.
Yeah. Who needs that
Definitely
round?
high stress.
Blake takes the lead in the third. It's sold out and almost jam-packed Arthur Ashe Stadium as we look in. Aerial coverage of the Open provided by Goodyear. Sold out, of course, again tonight. Over 700,000 fans will watch the 2 weeks of this U.S. Open Championship, by far a record. Almost every day they announce that a new day attendance mark has been set. Traded to a lot of great tennis, and this one seems aimed for an exciting climax. Will we get a 5-setter out of these two?
You know, they both started out so well for almost the entire first set, and now it's been all over the place for one or the other. If they both start playing as well at the same time, this could be a real nice match. But it's gotten random.
Not a lot of subtle strokes. Full bore, full swings. Andy Roddick, only an hour, advances when Tomas Berdych retired. He was ill from the very start.
I just think it shows how mental this game is. I mean, these are 2 of the best players in the world. 2 of the top 10 players in the world. It is hard to keep it together for extended periods of time. You're out there all by yourself. Conditions difficult to play your best tennis. And you're going to see ups and downs.
Well, then why don't we ever see Roger Federer in a down? Why is it always
He's arguably the greatest player that ever lived. You're talking about. This guy's
He's human. He
I'm not
is.
sure he is. Check his, get a blood test.
Is there in the locker room? Does he wear a cape or not? And Blake blasts the ace. His ninth, holds it low. Say, are you missing any of the U.S. Open highlights? No, no, no. All you have to do is log on to usopen.org. Presented by American Express. You'll see all the highlights here from the Open. Well, Blake consolidates that break, 3-1. He's now on a run, winning 12 of the last 14 points. James Blake.
These are good, streaky guys. Clearly, it's evidenced by this matchup.
Well, Roger Federer plays tonight. And should he win, it'll be Federer and Roddick in the quarterfinals. How good is that?
Well, that was out and out hustle and marvelous speed by Blake there. Track down this drop shot, first of all, and then he would have gotten the lob.
Look at that sprinter speed.
What Blake has gotten better at is minimizing the amount of time he loses his edge. That's why he's become a top-rated player. Now it's Haas's turn.
Why you put the chair so close?
He just hit a great shot. He wants to know why do you put the chair so close? God, just remember what you just did here. This is beautiful.
Sarah liked it. She said, put more swash in that
She
buckle.
should like it.
30-15.
But that's like quintessential Tommy Haas. It's just quite, not soaking in that moment.
Taking a negative out of positive.
Wants to rearrange the furniture.
Forehand blast by Blake, 30-all.
So the return, the depth of the return that set it up, forced Haas just to push the ball back, punished by the Blake forehand. That's a good staff there. What an entertaining matchup we have in the fourth round.
If you like shot making, you're going to see more of it from these two.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Set all, but Blake up a break here in the third at 3-1. 3-2, Blake leads in the third. CBS Sports coverage of the U.S. Open continues after this word from your local station. Coverage of the U.S. Open on CBS Sports is sponsored by Canon, ING, BP, and by Mass Mutual. And back in Flushing Meadow, Queens at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center and Arthur Ashe Stadium. And what a match we have here this round of 16 as James Blake and Tommy Haas continue with Blake in front. A set all and 3-2 here in the third.
It's a little close, don't you think? I mean,
Dick Enberg along with John McEnroe and Mary Carrillo.
He's still talking about the chairs.
Move it back. He can do it on his own.
Yeah, we don't need an interior decorator for this.
David, too expensive. Trust me.
But it's not evil. Blake opens.
Proud of that commercial.
It's a terrific commercial. I've got it memorized.
I haven't seen it yet.
If you just stick around and be patient, Mary. Be patient. You'll get it.
That clips the outside of the line, or so it appears. That's not challenging. This is just a massive shot.
Springing into that forehand. 30 love.
At 127, he's got one up to 129, but that just blew right by Haas.
Play 4-2 Blake's lead here in the third. A reminder, Tuesday, September 25th, power is sweet when you're heir to a multi-million-dollar sugar cane and rum empire. There's always a dark side. Jimmy Smith returns to TV in Kane, premiering Tuesday, September 25th on CBS. Getting good early reviews. Kane.
Why does there have to be a dark side to that?
Just watch.
Just watch it.
Haas at 2-4 here in the third delivers his 8th ace.
Very entertaining match out here thus far. A lot of good tennis being played. Something you don't see very often for Haas. As a matter of fact, very rare. A second serve and volley. Certainly surprised James Blake.
He shows again what an adept volleyer he is. You wonder why doesn't he try that more often?
Obviously, his court positioning doesn't allow it. It's great a distance to get from as far back as he likes to play to as tight as he would need to be to volley effectively.
But his serve is big enough. He could come in behind that occasionally.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Dick. I'm just telling you, this guy is he's got the kind of game that can get him to the net. It's not where he wants to be. You know, Boris Becker used to play from the baseline when he played here at the Open. He won it pretty much from the baseline, but it would drive Ian Tiriac, who used to manage him and coach him, it would drive him crazy to see Boris insisting on playing from the back. Certainly not how he won Wimbledon a couple of times.
Take a swat at it. Come on, James. You're not trying.
I hate it when he babies the ball.
Stop guiding this. You can see what a difference it is when he gets a chance at a second serve. It's key for Haas to get that percentage up on the first serve. And for the most part, he's done that. He's up at about 61% for the match. And making life more difficult there. 2 second serves in a row, 2 quick points to Blake.
Yeah, trouble spot now, already down a break at 2-4. Blake rallies to deuce. ace to punctuate the game. It's 4-3.
And now, this tournament summary, sponsored by Lexus.
Now a look at our tournament summary from New York. Shahar Pear, first Israeli ever to reach the U.S. Open quarterfinal. Congratulations. Roger Federer seeking 24 straight in his match tonight. And our congratulations to Jimmy Wall, Mr. Jimmy Wall, if you please. 40 years, CBS star. Captain Kangaroo. Oh, my. Yeah, the colors, and especially under the bright sunshine, we've enjoyed this full week in New York, accentuating the beauty of television on high def. James Blake on the line with a 4-3 lead here in the third, a set all. These two men play for a spot in the final 8 of this U.S. Open Championship. James Blake, Tommy Haas.
Haas too tentative off that return. That's why he's frustrated there. Allowed Blake to hit another forehand winner.
Dozen forehand winners from Blake in the match.
It seems like it's been more. I'll tell you.
And a couple of those blistering forehands should have counted too. Blake has hit a couple that were screamers.
There was a shot that Haas would have made had not been Blake's speed. He pressed, went for too big a shot. Easy game for Blake here, 40 love.
He's had an easy set on serve. He's allowed only 1 point to Haas in 4 service games. And another love hole, 3 of the 4 service games at love, and then 1 point allowed in the other. 12 aces, and it's 5-3.
He had a great 4th set against Kubek. Very strong one here. He's starting to serve better as well, which is a good sign for him. He's so amped up here. He's so close to taking a 2-1 lead. He almost can't hold himself back from going for outright winners on the return.
The other round of 16 match in this bracket involves the forgotten man, the number 4 seed, Nikolai Davydenko. Yeah, he's still around. He meets young Taik Lee, the Korean winner, to meet the winner of this. And there's a look at this portion of the draw.
Andy Roddick practiced for almost another hour after he got that retirement from Tomas Berdych, and afterwards somebody said, will you be rooting one way or another for Lopez or Roger Federer? And Roddick said, no offense to Lopez, but I'm kind of already preparing for Roger.
He hit with a righty. There's another massive return. I mean, you cannot hit returns harder than this. And there's that long step, a little bit lazy, perhaps fatigue starting to set in again for Haas. He started slow, got us together, but he's no spring chicken at 29, at least tennis turns, and he played a tough match in the 3rd round.
I always wondered about that. The spring chickens, are they get more tired than the fall chickens? That goes to deuce. A note on Roger Federer tonight. Feliciano Lopez is 60th in the world. Federer's beaten 3 men that are in the hundreds or 200s to get to this round, so he'll finally face a seeded player if he wins tonight. Roddick, number 5.
He knows Lopez from the juniors, and he's got a big serve, and he's going to have to use that to full effect if he'd have a chance against Roger. A win, he's been a factor throughout this match.
Shot to find Old Glory, didn't it?
Considering how windy it is, these players have hit a lot of good shots, played pretty well out there. How much it means to these two to get to the quarters of the Open again. There's certainly been times where the strain has shown.
Here's a break point and a set point for James Blake. Owns it 2-1 lead. 6-3 here in the third. The entrance to the grounds in the Arthur Ashe Commemorative Garden, and the saying from Arthur, from what we get we can make a living, what we give, however, makes a life. And what a life he lived. Open the fourth set, and Blake, by breaking Haas to end the third, the luxury of starting this fourth set on his serve.
He's again using that quickness to good effect. He's a little weary there towards the end of the third. It's going to be a tall order for him, although they played this pretty quickly, less than 2 hours, 3 sets.
Hour and 50 minutes so far. We're live at 4:20 in the afternoon here in the East.
Key for him to get a good start here early. Get some belief back, because he's played well and he's had his chances. It's a nice changeup for him. He's had success at net.
Take a couple of body blows here. Blake decided when he had time here to direct this away from Haas. He decided to go right at him, and Haas just stood his ground.
And earned 2 break points to start this fourth set.
Blake tried to blow the Haas down. Didn't work.
I can't believe he would try to go right at him there with the angles that were open to him. I think he got a little tight, Mary, and he's credit Haas for taking advantage. A quick break.
That's the way to start the new set. As we remind you, you can run your fantasy league with Fantasy Football Commissioner, the award-winning league manager, and you can try it now and free for 14 days at football.cbssports.com.
I think Blake's just not used to hitting passing shots as far back as he did that previous game, and it cost him. Didn't time that forehand well. Haas is more comfortable farther behind the baseline, and this is just what the doctor ordered for Tommy at this early break.
And to his credit, John McEnroe, he really played that first game aggressively. Took it right to Blake. A couple of very
when you see that,
volleys.
you say, why doesn't he do it more often? So solid that first game in breaking.
When he loses 1 point, he starts barking.
Thomas Hogstead feeling the wrath. And Haas tirade there. He doesn't want to let this edge slip away now.
Blake not happy with that.
Well, he guided that one. He didn't finish that shot. It floated on him wide.
It's also a good idea for Tommy Haas, who hasn't been up to the net much, to all of a sudden demand from Blake a big return serve, a big passing shot. And Blake hasn't had to hit a lot of them, so they're cold. It's nice stuff from Tommy and Blake. Trying to start this fourth set the way Blake began the first set, which was so effective for him.
It's a torture chamber. And Haas knows well he'd like to get this to a fifth set.
And that's his best shot. He's trying to overhit just that little bit again because Blake is so fast.
In 5 setters, Haas has won 15 times. Blake only once.
Oh. 15 and 14 to 1 and 9.
Here's Blake. Coming right back with 2 chances to answer with a break.
Tear that shirt in half. He's so upset with himself that he's given this back. A loose game from him.
Jay Block chanting out 15-40 to let Haas know that these are a couple of pressure points.
Exactly the way you want to play when you have some wind. You don't have to go for outright winners. You see, that's where he wants Blake to be. Not able to hit an offensive shot.
Plenty of time to load up. And another great chance for Blake to get even here in the fourth.
There's a bit of a safety margin, too, which Tommy needs, especially here down the break point still. Making life difficult with this second serve.
Another well-placed backhand volley.
This is what helped him get in the second set, get that run to level the match, and this is what's saving him now. His excellent play at net.
5 for 5 in this set from there.
They've all been backhands, too, haven't they? Both men succeeding as they've come forward. Wipes away 2 break points. Back to deuce.
Boy, look close. Not going to be challenged by Haas. You take a bigger swing off the ground.
Here's the chase review.
It was out. Likely a chance that something could go wrong, whereas in volley, you're just blocking. So it's a good idea to try to move in. Passing shots more difficult in these conditions as well.
Blake eyeing a 3rd break chance. He wants to challenge that, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Haas challenging the in-call on the near side float.
Ball is out. Correct. The chase review will.
Same shot twice in a row. Could be the same result for Haas.
This would be a break back for Blake if it missed.
Wait a second. It catches.
Oh, that's a keen eye.
That is a winner. Back to deuce.
Can't believe it, Blake, that one.
Well, it's a judgment call, but it was clear that Blake had no shot at that. Nowhere near the ball. Another break point save for Haas.
3 now in this game. He waited and waited, hoping that Blake might commit, but again did not. So he goes for the forehand down the line. 4 break points.
As well as he's been volleying, he must be thinking, why don't I just hit a good firm ball there and force Blake to hit a tough pass. Another miss first serve. That is exactly what he needs to be doing.
Hurried Blake by coming forward.
So, I agree with you. Okay, I'll come to that.
I think he was talking to you.
I can relate to what he's feeling. I wasn't Mr. Positive out there myself.
Come on.
Wasn't that your nickname?
Blushing Mr. Positive. Game point for Haas, having saved 4 breakers. In your estimation, when you did get upset in the match, did you play better then, or did you play not as well?
Well, earlier I would argue that I was able to keep it up. As I got later, it definitely was, I think there was a course economics, law of diminishing returns. Not working.
What a serve there as he kicks it on the sideline. What a save.
You got to recognize as a player when it's helping you and when it's hurting you, and to make that adjustment, just like when you're out there adjusting to a forehand. As we look at the match summary, a lot of winners. It's been a well-played match. There's been patches where they've gone off, but for the most part, it's what we could have hoped for. Everything we could have hoped for.
Plus 28 winners to unforced for Blake. That being said, he leads 2-1, but he's down a break here in the 4th. As we've hit the 2-hour mark in this match. 4:30 in the afternoon here in Flushing Meadows, New York. How about you, Mary? We don't have a lot of video evidence of how your temper held up. On
Mary taught me everything I knew when I grew up.
So did you express yourself fully when you were playing?
I was the type. I was winning sportsmanship awards.
Come on, Tommy, keep trying.
Really?
Yeah, I won the Maureen Connolly Brinker Sportsmanship Award at the Girls 18 Nationals. I immediately handed it to John to thank him for all of his encouragement and teachings.
Do the opposite. What I do.
Come on, from Sarah Foster, the girlfriend.
The ball against the wind's going to float. Easier to hit winners from this side. This is a chance for him just to get some insurance.
Spectacular!
Oh, my.
Every shot struck in that rally was tremendous. Finally ended, decided by Blake. Had to make a couple of saves there until he got one more.
That was a huge save, Mary, for him.
No kidding.
Brilliant stuff.
Still turn the set around and only one break down.
1 point for being right back on it.
Could have been 3 love. You see how big he's still in this game, at least. Haas is, strutting right now. He's feeling good about the way he's playing. Of the net gets him the desired result.
Chance for a double break lead here in the fourth to push this into a decisive fifth set.
That kind of positional correctness that Haas is going for, that adds so much more pressure to the other side of the net. It's much better than taking those high-risk swings.
And there's the break again. So Tommy Haas in command of the fourth set. Blake leading 2-1. Dramatic swings in this match at Arthur Ashe Stadium Court. You're watching in high-definition television. Pleased you joined us at the end of this Labor Day Monday. Many of you coming back from your picnics and gatherings away from the house. And joining the action is this a round of 16. And James Blake leads Tommy Haas 2-1. But Haas in control of this fourth set has a double break lead. The winner to the quarterfinals. Roddick's already made it through. He defeated Tomas Berdych, who retired in the second set of their match earlier here on Arthur Ashe Stadium Court.
Just like that, Haas 2 aces, 12 now. And it looks very much like it's headed towards a fifth set.
Based on record, that certainly would favor the German.
He was feeling so good about what's been going on that he served and volleyed on the second serve. Unheard of for Haas. Keep Blake off balance. Done a real good job of that in this fourth set.
Both these men made it to the U.S. Open quarterfinals last year. Just the winner to advance to the quarters.
He plays, it goes for another big second serve there. It's the job done.
In case you've been away, all the other scores today. Former champion Kuznetsova has advanced to the women's semis, or quarters rather, to the quarters.
That second win is clearly kicked in for Haas.
4 straight games for the 29-year-old Haas. Emotional. Athletic.
Talented. He's always been a great striker of the ball, Tommy Haas.
Just waits in that corner.
Well, caught the wind and went a lot shorter than he expected it to. You got to put more mustard on it there and try to get that ball deeper. It's the variety of his play that's kept Haas in this match. His excellent net play, stepping in the previous service game of Blake's, taking the return earlier. He's clearly capable of doing. Getting stuck too far behind the baseline.
They played 4 times before. Blake won the first 3, but Haas the last time on carpet in Paris.
How good is that?
Magnificent free-flowing backhand.
Blake had to block that back. Couldn't put as much on it as he wanted to, which allowed Haas the time to take a full swing. It's a beautiful shot.
Total points in the match: 102 for Haas, 99 for Blake. That close. And about 100 now for Blake.
30-30.
Blake broke Haas at 4-all to win the first set 6-4. Haas answered 6-4 in the second. Broke Blake in the final game of set 3 to, or rather Blake broke Haas in the final game of set 3 for the 2-1 lead, and then Haas came right out with a double break here in the fourth. Blake trying to win his first game in this set.
Haas is often seen in seemingly another time zone returning way back. And he's shown, again, there's an example there, his ability to take it early if he commits to it. How good is that? Same shot we saw a couple points ago. On a roll right now is Tommy Haas.
He's feeling it, especially on that backhand.
See, that ball breaks too short. And again, if you give him any time at all in that backhand, you're in trouble.
Oh, and here's a break point for 5 straight games for Haas.
This set's over.
3 times Blake broken in this set. 5 love for Tommy Haas. Boy, the peaks and valleys of this match for both players. And on the mountaintop here in the 4th set is Tommy Haas, who starts this 5-love game with an ace, his 13th. As he's 3 points away from a decisive 5th set.
That's frustration right there from Blake, who's just let this slip away so quickly. Trying to regroup here for the 5th set.
Dropped that one in the hole.
And Haas is amazed at how easy this has been. This 4th set. About to level this match.
It's almost too easy. Wynn took that one a little on him.
He didn't move his feet. He sees Blake as, more or less giving up on it, so he's sort of saying, well, I don't even have to try that hard to beat you this last game. But he doesn't want to get careless. Might as well get the bagel, finish him off.
It's called good. Haas says it's out.
Challenge the alcohol
He's going to challenge
on the
it.
baseline.
So our chase review will either confirm the official decision or Haas's eyes.
Haas was right there. He had a very good look at it. Right at his
14,
feet. Wasn't even
30.
close. Maybe Haas was blocking the lines and
Set point.
let's review that.
The challenge the in-call on the service line.
He had an ace to finish off this love set.
And
That one looked long. Let's see if it's not going to matter one way or the other.
chase review.
It was well out.
Full ball.
Second set.
Here's another set point. With a bagel, 6-love set for Tommy Haas. They'll play 1 set for the quarterfinals. So Blake wins the first, then it's Haas. Blake the third. Haas answers 6-love. And now 1 set to earn a place in the final 8 of this U.S. Open Championship. And this big crowd at Arthur Ashe Stadium is ready to cheer.
Blake's only 5-set win came earlier in this event.
Second round against Fabrice Santoro.
The crowd is trying to energize James. Going to reach the quarters here for the 3rd time.
That match against Santoro, same pattern as this one. Blake won the first and the third. Santoro the second and fourth, and finally Blake prevailed 6-4 in the 5th.
He did not do enough with that approach there. Easy passing shot for Tommy Haas.
Tommy Haas's longevity in this sport. The fact that this is his 30th 5-set encounter. We saw 15 and 14.
He got above the 500 mark by beating Grosjean a couple days ago.
Bad luck for Blake on that one.
He's clearly got a second wind here. Just running through the 4th set. The adrenaline is pumping for both these players. The crowd is certainly going to spur them on.
Taste of his own medicine, that blistering backhand winner from Blakeson.
Just got that little bit tentative on this one. Played it safe. You see, he had extra spin to make sure he didn't hit it long, but it gave Blake more time. Just didn't finish that shot. Both players are doing the right thing there. Instead of missing approaches and making unforced errors, they're making their opponents hit winners, and that's what's happening so far here. Keeps that balance so well. Takes those short steps to set up a forehand winner.
Again, if you're just joining us, it's been a very breezy day. Beautiful sunshine, temperature around 80. Gusts up in the 20-mile-an-hour range earlier in the day. It's died down somewhat, but still a wind a factor. And it's into the face of the server Blake at this moment. And the double fault to deuce. That's his third. Go with a dozen aces.
That one he made no mistake on. As this match progressed, moved closer and closer to the baseline and even inside it. And you can't give him time there. Chance to break here for Haas.
Excellent play. Chance for the early lead. Trying to break Blake for the 4th straight time.
Tremendous game from Haas.
7 straight games. Tommy Haas grabs the lead here in the 5th. Well, a couple of nights ago against Fabrice Santoro, Blake, who had never won a 5-setter, finally at match point against Fabrice Santoro. Talented magician from France. And finally the win. Brushed his shoulders on his way to the net as if to say that monkey is off my back. Or is it? Haas making things difficult, has the early lead. He just played so well. It's not a matter of failing on the part of Blake that Haas has just raised his game to its highest level.
Yeah, absolutely. He is playing superbly these last 30 minutes or so. And he's making things happen. He's not waiting for Blake to do something. He's forcing the issue, and it's really paid off for him.
He's got a lot of, he's got very good movement and a nice margin on his ground strokes, too. Look at this. Now he's confident enough to be serving and volleying.
What a change from the Tommy Haas we saw in the opening set.
This is a great return, though. It was well handled by Haas. If he can pull this match out, he's got to encourage him down the road. It's the last couple years of his career to do this more often as he hits another ace. 14.
And back to that net plays. They put on 30 of 41 points at the net, Tommy Haas, and 5 of 6 here in this last set. They don't play out the set. They go to a tiebreak should this set wind up at 6-all. Second serve ace.
This is a moment that our friend Tony Trabert, great American champion, used to talk about. The danger of letting a set go, as Blake did there, dropping that 4th set at love. Tony Trabert never understood that whole idea. He said, boy, I've been up 2 breaks and lost a set. I've been down 2 breaks and lost a set. And what's happened now is that Tommy Haas is enjoying all kinds of confidence momentum, and Blake hasn't got that. This is the last set. This is to get into the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open. It's a long way to come back from, and that's his 13th ace. That's got to help. You always try to win the first point on your own serve and on your opponent's serve.
Trying to break this string of 8 straight games to Haas.
That's his hardest serve of the match right there at 130. There's only 1 break down. They traded a number of those throughout this match.
Basically, all Haas has got to do now is hold serve.
That's easier said than done in the 5th set of the U.S. Open. This is just another unbelievable backhand from Haas. His timing is just on the money right now.
3 aces in this game.
That's what you have to do right now against him.
15 in the match for Blake to match the 15 by Tommy Haas. In front, 2-1 in the final set. Final set, and Tommy Haas serving with a 2-1 lead in a match that's been statistically incredibly close. But Haas has that big lead here early in the final set.
The numbers are magnificent. Look at good serving, very few double faults by either guys, and more than twice the number of winners to errors from both. Considering that not only did Blake have to play a 5-setter to get this far, but Haas had to beat a tough Frenchman as well, Sebastian Grosjean. They both are enjoying a very nice energy level right now.
Considering the conditions have been tricky with that wind, the quality of this 4th-round match, excellent. There's been brief moments of doubt from both players, but Haas has certainly put it together. 4th and into the 5th set, and Blake's got to have to find a way. He did the last game, pick up his game again. Dig even deeper. The question is will Haas tighten up here as he finishes this off? Because Marion pointed out, if he holds serve, he's in the quarters.
This huge arena, Arthur Ashe Stadium, capacity nearly 24,000, and these fans, for the first time today, you can just feel them edging forward, ready to roar with each shot. And of course, it is a partisan Blake crowd. And play like that from Tommy Haas is muting the enthusiasm here in New York. Couple of points for 3-1.
You can see that strut and belief in Haas's walk and mannerisms right now. Just wants to keep it going just the way it is. It's just too good. And create a winner from that spot on the court is pretty tough. It's not a short ball that Haas hit. Seemingly impossible spot for a winner, but Blake pulls it off. Goes for the serving volley, gets the hold.
And a 3-1 lead. Let's go to Mary Jo Fernandez.
Thanks, Dick. With Thomas, James's brother. Thomas, it seemed like James had the momentum after winning the third. What does he need to do to get it back?
I think, well, Tommy played a really good fourth set. He kind of changed his game. He started going for a lot more, and I don't think James caught up to the speed yet. So I think he's fine. He's starting to get it back now.
You think all the tennis he's played, the night matches, having his first 5-set win, any of that affecting him right now?
I mean, I think he's a little more mentally tired than physically. I think it's just so many matches that he's played in the last few weeks that he's just getting to him.
Thanks, Thomas. Good luck.
Thomas Blake Jr., a couple of years older than James, and preceded him at Harvard University. Both were All-America players.
And we remind you again, it has been a long, hot summer for James Blake. He's had some terrific success in the last couple of weeks on hard courts, but maybe a little too much. As Thomas says, it's more mental than physical. All the play he's had, and especially honoring his commitment to play a week before this U.S. Open, that one in New Haven, a tournament that he ended up winning. Just after having played himself into the final of Cincinnati, losing to Federer. And now all of this tennis as well.
It's a good approach out by Haas. We're telling him, don't get down on yourself at this point. You're up 3-1. You're playing great. Blake had to hit an awfully tough shot to win that point. He's slipped a little bit as he moved forward.
Blake playing in a position down 1-3, no room for error.
He's feeling some nerves. He just went for a little bit, tiny bit too much.
But that's been the story of this match. Both men going all out. Full-fledged force. Not a lot of subtlety in this match. All swashbuckling. Added by Chub, but it's to 40-30. Time of the match.
They've been playing fast.
Blake holds. Haas remains in front. 3-2. And continuing coverage right after this word from your local station. Coverage of the U.S. Open on CBS Sports is sponsored by Aviva, Lexus, by IBM, and by Pilot Pen. Since 1881, the United States Tennis Championships here in New York at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in Flushing Meadows. We're live at just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Tommy Haas and James Blake battling for a spot in the final 8 of this last Grand Slam event of the 2007 season. At Haas serving 3-2. First point to Blake. Run down all the scores for you. Davydenko with a set lead against Lee. The winner of that match will meet the winner of this one in the quarterfinals. Roddick with only 1 hour of play. His opponent retiring in the second set. Burdage.
Has tightened up that little bit, and Blake has picked up on it here. Here's his chance to break right back.
Shahar Peer, the Israeli, first time ever A woman or a man from her country into a Grand Slam quarterfinal. Trouble spot for Haas.
The second serve, the first point of the game, went for an ace. He didn't think Blake was going to get it back. He caught the forehand late. Blake absolutely crushed that backhand winner. Top glove 30. Miss hit there. This is... Good job again, not going for too much, making Blake hit a tough passing shot.
He has been sparkling at the net, Tommy Haas.
He's forced to hit off the back foot. Blake is up too high. He wanted to get it lower. Couldn't get it done.
32 for 45 at the net. 71%, and Blake even better at 75%.
Let's turn the match around for Haas. Get him in this winning position. Strong effort from Tommy Hilton. Love 30, now a chance to take a 4-2 lead.
Oh, he digs out a love 30 and a 4-2 lead for Haas. 2 games away from the quarters. He had to fight his way through 5 sets the other night against Sebastian Grosjean, the Frenchman. And a 2-set lead, and then Grosjean rallied, and Tommy Haas 6-3 in the 5th. It was his 15th 5-set win in his outstanding career, and Blake at 2-4 leads with an ace. His 16th. Haas with the luxury of knowing as long as he holds serve, he's in the quarterfinals. Only 2 more service games for him to do that.
This is even more impressive to me than anything about the way Tommy Haas is playing. He won that 5-setter against Grosjean the other day, and that was a tremendous effort. But the 5-setter he's trying to win here today is not only against a much tougher ranked player, but he's doing it outside of his comfort zone. He's taking the net. He's doing all the right things to try to ensure that he can win this one. And that is just a huge step to play a big match the right way. It's everything his coaches could want from him. He's always had an all-around game. He's rarely used it.
And here he is with a chance to break and take a 5-2 lead, a double break.
How big is this? Yeah, this is huge. This is like a match point. I mean, the odds of him losing serve twice, very, very small. What a chance here for Tommy Haas. See how aggressive he is on this second serve. Just wide. He's going to challenge it, but it's not going to happen for him.
Oh, that's close. Case review.
Both players, well, they didn't even, I thought they challenged.
He raised his hand, a signal that he wanted to challenge, and apparently wiped off. So Blake able to save that break point.
Just that tiny bit of seed of doubt there. With the slimmest of margins, missed 2 backhand returns.
So close to going up 5-2, but Blake able to battle back. 28th here at this site, and our aerial coverage of the U.S. Open is provided by Goodyear. James Blake, boy, that backhand return by Haas had narrowly hit the line, would have given him a 5-2 lead, but just out. And Blake fights his way off a break point, but it's still Tommy Haas 2 games away from the final 8. He serves 4-3. Yes.
You wonder, Dick, does he miss that return being aggressive? Another one and then a volley if he'll hesitate here. As Blake hits the winner off the second serve. He shouldn't, the way he's been moving in. Haas should continue to be aggressive. That's incredible. What was that, a 2-handed half volley?
Yeah. Had to make it up a little bit here, Blake. But the nice thing is, not only does he spike this one for the winner, but then he shows that he's still got something left. Now he's asking for some help from the crowd.
Well, how tough an overhead was that? Love 30.
He was down love 30 last time he served, Tommy.
Quickly ran off to win that game without giving up another point.
Quite simply, it's been a fantastic game from Blake so far. Haas put the pressure on that passing shot right at his shoestrings. Very tough shot to handle.
2 big points to pull even at 4-all for James Blake.
This is a classic Labor Day match. A little bit tentative, Tommy Haas, in that game. Got down quickly, couldn't pull it out, and boy, oh boy, now there's so much love in the stands here for James Blake. He gets the kind of crowd behind him that Andre Agassi used to have for so many years here at the U.S. Open.
Well, they know his story and all he's battled through, and they've loved him from day one, and he's progressed up the ranks after that tragic 204 season when he fell deep into the 100s, and here he is as the number 6 player in the world. He's battled out of a big hole here in the final set. It's 4-all.
It's good to see Haas still attacking, because it could have been also different if he had made that return, a 2-4 break point and missed it by an inch or two. He got a little bit hesitant. Blake lifted his game to his credit. And you don't want him to think that he hasn't played well enough because he made that volley mistake to lose serve.
And as excited as Blake fans are at the moment, remember this whole match has just swung quickly. Momentum one to the other. Every point delicate and precious for all 15 all. '18th ace for Blake. A little tired on that attempt.
Serve a little bit long. Crowd thought it was in. Second serve at 30 all.
A delicious point for Blake.
These guys were trading vicious ground strokes until finally Haas came in, and look at that. Unbelievable. This crowd is loving it. Standing O for these two.
Blake 1 point away from the lead for the first time in this final set. James Blake, broken to open this final set, has been trailing throughout and finally sees the bigger number on his side of the board. They're on serve, and it's Haas at 4-5. Little doubt as to this big crowd and whom they favor.
Everything was working for Haas. The 4-2 had a break point to go double break, and you can see what nerves and tension do to a player. Suddenly, a couple minutes later, he's 2 points from defeat. needed that big time. Serve barely wide. Instead of being 40-30, it is match point for Blake. Hit a serve as big as that, you expect the point to be over. And Blake did well to get this back, force Haas to hit another big shot, which he did, to his credit.
Earns himself a game point for 5-0.
Last couple games, Blake has made Haas hit some very difficult volleys. The strain of this match, mental and physical. You see, it's so much tougher to deal with those shots 3 hours in.
Betty Blake, mother of James. I saw brother Tom. He's playing some defense, isn't he, James Blake?
But he's so quick out there still. Haas would like that shot back. To try a drop shot from the position he was, not a good idea.
Longest game of this final set. Second match point.
He's put out so much effort Haas to get himself in that winning position. It would be a shame to see him lose it this way. Almost be fitting if this went to a 5th set tiebreak.
It really would. That would be poetic justice. Three hours of labor and down to a 3rd match point for Blake.
Three match points, 3 just massive serves.
After 3 hours and all this tension, all this pressure, to still be able to come up with that. Just such an impressive effort from both the guys. So much poise and all this noise and all this pulling for Blake. Look at that.
Nails his 16th, now 17th ace.
At some angle he's cooked up here. 111 out wide and short.
Remarkably, 3 long hours, 5 sets, and the longest game, this one, with 3 match points for Blake. What a save for Tommy Haas. Drives away 3 match points. We're at 5-all in the 5th.
This ball a little bit wide here. Blake is not going to challenge. You can see it came up a couple inches wide of the line.
Chase review confirming it was indeed wide.
Talk about a seesaw match. Emotional roller coaster for these two. 5-all in the 5th.
How well did Haas serve under pressure there?
It's beautiful. Remember, at the U.S. Open, there's a tiebreak in the 5th. So one way or another, this is going to be over in about 10 minutes.
Warning, remember, early in the match. He doesn't want to overdo it, lose a point at this late stage.
Yeah, the wind held that one in. Dropped on or near the baseline, and Blake with the error.
It's too tough an angle James tried for there from that position.
Welcome back. Not only has this drama been tense and terrific, so has the quality of play. How high level. Blake 70 winners, only 32 errors, a +38. Haas 66 winners, 36 errors, a +30. And on we go, 5-6 in the final set.
Haas is wearing, he switched shirts to the same color he was wearing when he won that 5-setter the other night against Sebastian Grosjean. wide.
This is one of those, with all they put out, it's tough to, know one of these guys is going to come up empty after all this. The strain they put themselves under, the opportunity for that winner to move on, the other guy. All those chances.
We've seen that a few times today. Blake blistering that forehand. That is a wow.
You can try this at home, but it won't work. I can assure you of that. There's very few guys pull that off.
A statement forehand.
What does Haas do? Go right back there. Gets the short return. He's a point away from taking this to a fitting 5th set tiebreak.
Meanwhile, it appears apparent Nikolai Davydenko will be the opponent of the winner of this. See if that costs Haas. It takes it to 40-30.
Blake had guessed. His point was over. All he had to do was put it in the court. And he missed that rather badly.
He's taking his time. He's walking off that last miss.
Girlfriend Sarah Foster leading the cheers in the Haas camp. Davydenko's up 2 sets. Tiebreak to decide which man advances to the quarterfinals of the United States Open. Well, this is what major tennis championship should be all about. A round of 16 match. 2 outstanding players. Number 6 in the world, James Blake. Number 10, Tommy Haas. Battled for 3 hours and 10 minutes, and now it will be decided in the final set in a tiebreak. And Blake puts himself on his heels by losing the opening point.
Such a good serve and totally overplayed that volley. And this serve just set him up beautifully deep into the corner and pulling Blake off.
Well, some of it is that Blake is so fast even at this late stage, but he's certainly overhit. There's no doubt he choked that. I'd love to have that back.
That's so bold. It's just antithetical to what Tommy Haas normally does. He surprised Blake by coming in. Blake on the run only then realized he had to hit a passing shot. Is that a bold move? Is Donald Young 2-1 Haas.
Another error from Blake. He falls behind 3 points to 1.
He was in a little trouble because he was off the court here running around this backhand, so he felt the pressure of hitting a bigger shot. He's in a hole at 1-3. That's long. That was close. The crowd oohing and eyeing.
Got a lot of fans joining us from around the country late in the evening on Labor Day, and perhaps don't follow tennis. We're in a 5th set tiebreak to decide who advances to the quarterfinals of this major championship. First player to 7 by 2 is the winner. And Tommy Haas serves with a 3 points to 2 lead.
Thought maybe he had 4-1 with the serve, Haas with the double fault, and then he got tight in the forehand when the crowd made all that noise. And he looks up, he's got to change sides at 3-all. Blake's done that numerous times, hurt him off the second serve, hit outright winners.
74th winner of the match. Only 36 errors. Points all.
I feel like even the crowd's nervous. So much tension out there right now.
Absolutely brilliant.
You talk about digging in your bag of tricks. Unbelievable speed and effort from Blake, but this shot making from Haas. How big is that? Come on.
On serve, 4 points to 3 Haas, and now it swings to Blake's 2 points.
Both players need a breather here.
The double fault gives Haas a 5-3 lead. He knows now he'll be serving for the final 8. Blake has lost 3 of his 4 service points in the break.
That's why Blake had 3 match points. Don't forget that. 3 match points.
With Haas serving at 4-5 in this final set. And now Tommy Haas with 3 match points. Can James Blake dig down and deny?
Well, he's going to challenge it.
Baseline.
It was close. Looks like it caught line, but we're going to find out if this match is over or not.
Chase review will tell us whether this ball did hit the line as it was called by the linesperson. person. Here it is.
You talk about hanging by a thread.
6-4. Haas, another serve, 2 more match points.
Talk about a game of inches. Unbelievable.
Still 2 match points for Haas.
He's